Welcome back to another edition of Irish Illustrated 321, 3 minutes, 2 analysts, 1 topic. And today we turn our attention to Lindy's preseason ranking of the Irish offense, the units and players. And Tim, I'll run it down for you. There is nobody ranked for the offensive backfield at quarterback, nobody at wide receiver, Michael Mayer, the number 1 tight end, Jared Patterson, the number 1 center, and the surprise of all, Notre Dame's offensive line ranked number 1 nationally going into 2022.
That is a surprise. Now, again, we don't know the exact personnel that they're competing against nationally, but number 1, I would say number 1 most improved since the middle of last season. There's a couple factors involved. You have Jared Patterson moving to guard, which I don't really have any doubts that he will be successful at guard. We've seen Zeke Correll be successful against quality competition when playing center. We know about the tackles. Josh Lugg still has something to prove at guard. So that's pretty lofty, number 1. Yes. Love the improvement and think that they're definitely heading up. But wow, that's really high.
Yeah, and of course, it's not fair to say overrated, because if they're number 5, I wouldn't blink, and neither would you. You'd think, all right, well, they're in the top 10. I think that's about right. Now, I wonder if there's an underrated in here or not, because people don't know the personnel. The offensive backfield, which Lindy's includes as quarterback and running backs, is not ranked at all. We understand why their wide receivers and tight ends are not in the top 10. That does include Michael Mayer being on a position group that's not in the nation's top 10, but it points to the weakness of the team perceived at this point, the wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, if Kevin Austin was still, on the team, that might change things, give them a little bit of size. And the 3 guys coming back, in Lindsey, Davis, and Styles, we know have a chance to be pretty good, but there's not a lot of size there. Tyler Buckner at quarterback, I can understand. Who did you mention was ahead of him? Tyler McKee from
Tanner McKee from Stanford, and Keaton Slovis on his transfer to Pittsburgh. They ranked 25 quarterbacks. Look, if you don't want to rank Tyler Buckner in the top 25, that's fine. He hasn't played enough to rank him, but that's kind of that's the zone. You think that Tyler Buckner could certainly be in that top 25. Maybe by the time they leave Columbus. Maybe it's not until by the time they leave September.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what matters is if he's ranked in the top 25 at the conclusion of the season as opposed to now, and you understand it. But if you think about it, if he stays healthy, protects the football, which is a bit of a concern, but I think that he's going to throw well into the 2,000, 2,500 yard range. And then we know, all things being equal, running wise, he could be a 500-yard rusher this year.
Sure. I think if you're doing the game again, I think properly rated is the wide receivers. I wouldn't put them among the nation's best units, even including a tight end, because we don't know what they have at backups. Maybe underrated is the backfield, because we do like Jadarian Price, Chris Tyree, Audric Estime, the whole group they have with Tyler Buckner. And I like to say the word overrated, because we like that offensive line with 3 future first-round draft picks possibly. But number 1 is a lofty goal after what we saw last year, just with the new coordinator.
Yeah, I understand the ranking with the running backs, because none had rushed for 300 yards last year. But again, those are guys that can move up.
That is it for 321 this week. We'll be back with another topic on irishillustrated.com.